Um, this is round one of the standard event I'm going to be playing in today with the mono black deck. We would love to play first, and this is definitely a keep. We have Thoughtseize, we have both of our colors, we have two Mutavaults, and things to cast. So this is for sure a keep here. We're about to see exactly what our opponent is working with. See what they have here. Okay, so playing the blue-white deck. It looks like the one that splashes black. They have Doomblade. That card is actually just completely useless against us. Elspeth is also not very good as it just dies to Downfall. But Jace is good because it delays our attacks. And it looks for more cards. And we really need to cut off their card advantage. So we're going to get rid of Jace here. And pass the turn. So yeah, so likely this is the deck that just plays the 8 Temples for some extra options in the board. We actually want to save our gate, I think. We want to play Mutavault. We want to have, like, attacks up at all, like, anytime we can. So that's good. We're not going to want to get sent back a land here, because he's just going to play a land, pass the turn, keep Azorius Charm up. So we're not going to attack into it. Ooh, Thoughtseize. That's really good. Instead, we are going to Thoughtseize him. We're going to see he's added another Elspeth and a Detention Sphere. D-Sphere is good against us. So, do we want to take the D-Sphere or the Azorius Charm? The Azorius Charm lets him cycle into another land, but I think we just want to take the Sphere. And so, here we have another interesting play. So if we activate the Mutavault and attack for 2, it's getting in 2 damage. And he hasn't scryed or anything, so he doesn't know what's on the top of his deck, and he needs a lot of lands to go off here, because he has the Doomblade, he has the Doomblade and then 2 Elspeths and an Azorius Charm, so likeliness that he's going to waste the Azorius Charm on 2 damage is, not very likely at all. So I actually think that we're okay with getting this Azorius Charm if that is what he chooses to do. I can't believe it is, but like if that is what he wants to do, I believe we're okay with it. So he doesn't even cycle. That had to be a mistake. We obviously don't know what he drew, but it's probably not something to deal with a demon. As Azorius Charm isn't good enough. The 2 Elspeths are, but all we know is that he has, we don't know exactly what he has, just the lands. Ooh, so he drew a Dissolve, which is pretty good because it lets him scry into an extra land if he needs. And we don't have many other threats, although we do have infinite Mutavaults to start beating down with. So that's okay. Also, we have the 2 Slaughter Games main board, which can really just, like, take out all of his revs or something and put him very far behind. So he puts it on the top, so my guess is the land. Yeah, I mean, this is where Slaughter Games Rakdos Return really shine. We have a very, very good board against them. He's drawing the card, not hitting a land drop, I presume. Alright, so that's very good for us. We're simply going to pump up our 2 Mutavaults. And get in with them. We are going to play the other Mutavault so that if we draw an untapped land, we can get in for 6 next turn. This is just going to have to do for now. Alright, so he hits that land drop, which is fine. No Jace. Night Veil Spectre. So that's pretty good. We are still just going to get in with Mutavaults. We didn't see Nightmare. I don't know what he said. Anyways, we didn't see any like Quickens or Supreme Verdicts, so we're not afraid of that. Plus, he's not on 5 lands yet. But I know a lot of these decks do run the Quicken Verdict combo. A Last Breath. Alright, that's fine. Another one? So his last 2 draw spells have been 2 Last Breaths, which isn't awful for us. Alright, so we know he has Elspeth, or we know he has 2 Elspeths in his hand. Is that all we know? I believe so. Alright, so we're going to cast this for triple black. We're going to get in. I doubt he has another Last Breath, and if he has an Azorius Charm, I'm sure he wants to cycle it, so that's pretty safe. If he doesn't hit this 5th land, we should be pretty set. So one thing we do have to be careful of, actually, is the transformational sideboard out of blue-white, because they have the power... Ooh, he did have the Verdict. They have the ability to play, like, Bramaz and Archangel of Thune out of the board, so we want to keep in our sets of Dreadboars and things. Alright, so now that we have a second Gray Merchant, we can kind of just go to town right here. Just make him answer it. Getting in for 4 does do something, but this is more than 4. Well, this is 4, actually, just on its own, and it's a clock that we don't have to pay for. So it's just, I think it's infinitely better in this situation. Fine. D-Sphere takes one of them. Any draw step that's not a land is good for us. We know he has 2 Elspeths in his grip, and we're not really sure what else. We're actually about to find out what else, since he has no counters up. Lands, please. Doomblade, Elspeth. Well, Doomblade's not going to help him, also, since he has no land. So we're going to take her to get rid of an Elspeth. Pump up 2 Mutavaults. And get in. Alright, so we just have to dodge, like, 2 more draw steps, I believe. So even with him stuck on lands and us having the 3 Thoughtseize draw, it's still a pretty grindy game 1. All dots from the opponent over there. A land. Alright, yeah, we know he has Doomblades, but we know that those don't do anything. We know he's only drawn 1 thing, so he can possibly deal with 1 of our Mutavaults, in which case we have the extra land still. Alright, so he has 2 Doomblades and Elspeth in hand. Now he has another card. I mean, this could actually just be a land, like, doesn't really matter. I think he's dead. Alright, so onto the sideboard here. Yeah, our sideboard is, like, very, very, very good against blue-white. Right, so we have a million cards coming against them here. We actually have 8. We have the 2 Slaughter Games, the 2 Connections, and the 4 Duress. So Whip is okay, because it does get back all the Gray Merchants. And here's down 4 and Dreadboar are fine. We're going to take out Ultimate Price and Devour Flesh. Like, even if they go into the game mode that is just, like, jam all the threats, at most they have, like, 7 probably. Like, they may run 4 Bramaz, 3 Archangel. They have 7. So we have more removal spells and they have things to deal with them. We'll also be able to see them from the Slaughter Games, because we're going to go up to 4. So when we play Slaughter Games, we'll be able to see if they have stuff, and then we'll be able to, like, divvy up our resources to deal with that. And we have the returns to get at Planeswalkers, so we're not really afraid. We have the full set of Connections here, and then the full set of Duresses. So Pack Rat dies to D-Sphere, which is why it's not, like, fantastic in this matchup. And we're pretty much just, like, we have our Connections and our Demons and stuff, and we're just, like, bringing back Gray Merchants and stuff. So the question is, what's actually bad here? Because we just have so much. So since we know that he is not on the transformational sideboard plan yet, we can probably just bring out, like, 3 Dreadboars. That's actually probably fine. Yeah, we want all the stuff, and we want the Nightfall Spectres in there to, like, help pump up the Gray Merchant count. I don't know. Again, this is the first time playing this deck. I saw this on Grand Prix coverage today, actually, and I really liked it. I didn't see this exact list. I kind of, like, tuned it for the online metagame. But I saw something like this, and I was, like, a huge fan, obviously, right off the bat. It's just a very grindy, mid-range control deck, which is everything that I like to play. So, thought I would try it out here. Thoughtseize. See your hand of nothing. Alright, D-Sphere. So we have 3 lands, revoke, ultimate price. That is fine. Alright, Desecration Demon. That's going to be bad. I mean, versus ultimate price at least. A 3rd land, so he doesn't have Bramaz. So we actually don't mind him killing, or, you know, if he's drawn a Last Breath and a Resource Charm, we don't mind him getting this Mutavault right here, because we have the Nightville next turn to follow it up anyways. And we don't mind going like Nightville, Demon, Grey Merchant. He can't deal with the Nightville with the hand we just saw. Ooh. So we're actually just going to stick a Demon. Nightville's very good in this matchup. And just like, you can't get it with almost any of the stuff they try to use, and it's just an extra pip for Grey Merchant. I mean, they do get it with Supreme Verdict and Detention Sphere, but they can't ultimate price it. I guess they can Last Breath it. They do keep in Last Breaths. He has not hit his black yet, so he's drawn another land and a Mutavault. That is fine. What is this? A Detention Sphere. Alright, right. So he has not drawn anything yet. So we're going to play... Ooh. Yeah, I imagine we want to sneak in the Underworld connections here. So it's going to go on just a swamp. We didn't see a Negator, Syncopate, or anything. We know he drew a Connections and a Mutavault. So he has like 1 empty card in hand right now. Maybe 2. So we're safe there. Right, that was sweet. That really helps the Grey Merchant count. And since we know 2 of his Detention Spheres are gone... ooh, you're right. We knew about that Revoke existence. Okay. That wasn't the smoothest play on our part, but it still does what we want to do. We get to Duress into Nightville Spectre next turn. And so that's okay. Of course, he plays this untapped. That means Jace, which I guess we're afraid of. Here's Downfall, where we are no longer afraid of Jace. We are afraid of Sphinx's Revelation. So he has the Watery Grave for the ultimate price. We're going to take the Rev. Perfect timing. We can fight through smaller Revelations, but it's very difficult to. So now we know that he has Watery Grave ultimate price, which is not going to help him here. Just at all. So I think we actually just play Grey Merchant and make him react here. It's probably just the safest play. Like, he has 1 card in hand that is unknown. If that card is a counter of some sort, so be it. Yep. It's dissolved, that's fine. He's going to get to scry here. Just deeper and deeper into Revelation territory. He put it on top. So that means it's like a D-Sphere or a Last Breath or a Rev or something of the sort. Ooh, Island. Already played our land per turn. Alright. So we're going to play the Island next turn. So what is it that he kept on top here? This is a Jace or a Rev? It's a Jace. So we're kind of hoping he +1s it here so we can kind of get him with our Downfall. Nope. Azorius Charm. We'll actually just give him the Charm and the lands. He's probably going to take the lands, is my guess. Okay, so he put that in his hand. He put the land on the bottom of the library. That's fine. Ooh, another connection. So we now have to stick the connections. Yeah, so the plan now is to stick connections, activate Mutavault, because he can't block with his Mutavault and Azorius Charm. So we're going to activate Mutavault and then attack both of Jace. My guess is he's just going to take it. We also could have played his island first, like, if he charms the Nightville Spectre. My guess is he won't, though. It's like, we're going to kill Jace anyways, so why would he want to lose a Mutavault or an Azorius Charm? Nope. You can't block and charm, buddy. Okay, I guess he doesn't want Jace to take the extra damage. Or doesn't want us to have a Mutavault, whatever. So we're going to play the land, pass the turn. We know he has Charm land in hand, I believe. Yeah, we know he has the... Yeah. Alright, so hopefully we'll be able to get some value on this. Water Regrave Ultimate Price. We know he has Charm Ultimate Price in hand. Alright, so... let's draw a card here. Another Nightville Spectre. Well, that's sweet. So, Temple of Enlightenment. He put it on the bottom. So we can actually do this weird thing here, where we play the second Spectre. So the reason you wouldn't is because playing the Spectre is basically setting up for Grey Merchant, right? Like, you want the huge Grey Merchant that's incoming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'd be a Grey Merchant for 10, which would be huge. And if you're afraid of, like, a Sweeper or a Detention Sphere or whatever, then you don't want to play this. You just want to play out the Grey Merchant, get in what you can, and then save the Spectre back because it's such a good threat on its own. But since we know the cards in his hand and he's scryed to the bottom, we're pretty sure, like, the chances that he draws something that beats us are very slim to none. Wow. Very happy we got that. Alright. That is insane. That is very good for us. I'd actually just, like, love to see a Slaughter Games or something right here. Yeah, so he has a Mystery card, Ultimate Price. Pithing Needle. Oh, we know what he's going to name. He's going to name Swamp. So we're just going to Connections in response. It's fine. Desecration Demon. That's insane. So we know that he's going to Ultimate Price this in response to the trigger. Yeah, and he has a card on top of his library. I don't know what it is. It could definitely be Rev. Yeah, the card on top of his library could for sure be a Rev. So what are we most afraid of here? Actually, no, we're going to get the card on top of his library. Okay, so what are we most afraid of? Elspeth doesn't do it. Rev is like the only card that gets him back in the game, I believe, right? So we're going to Slaughter Games. Speth. And because we know the card in his hand, it doesn't really matter the order we're doing this in. If we Nightville Spectre and we get a land, obviously, then we'll play out our demon as well. Sphinx's Revelation will be the card that we decide. Okay, so now we get to look at his deck and his hand. As we knew, he only has that in his hand. No transformational sideboard from him. He does have an Aetherling and a Blood Baron. Ooh. Blood Baron? Would that be good? No, that wouldn't be enough to save him. Aetherling the same. So. Okay, here. Nope, that's it. Alright. Yeah, so the reason Blood Baron can't save him is because we're going to get him to 10 here. And then if we... Well, so I guess if we hit a land, then Blood Baron can't save him. Or actually, it doesn't matter anyways, no. Wow, that negate was clutch. But yeah, so if he plays Blood Baron, right, we just attack over, get him to 6, Grey Merchant him out. So, neither of that is an issue here. Supreme Verdict is a little annoying, but that doesn't quite do it either, and he drew the land. So I'm pretty sure we're just in. Yeah, should be game. Yeah, so we're just gonna play the Grey Merchant, 4-10, and then we have negate back up. Alright, well, Slaughter Games is good against Sphinx's Revelation. Imagine that. Yeah, I mean, we have the negate, so it's not going to matter. Perfect. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so our opponent's just wishing us luck. Very nice of him, and we're going to start out the daily event 1-0. As soon as he lets this resolve. May want to let this resolve, buddy. Yeah, first game was stupid. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so officially 1-0, and I'll see you guys for round number 2.